All right, back in this 2026 Passport, I am about to replace this mirror with the Honda Accessory Homelink mirror, which should have come standard on this Trailsport Elite, but it didn't. Kind of annoying. And the goal is to get rid of that stupid thing. So far, my biggest challenge has been getting good lighting. But I'll grab my trim toolkit and get going here. All right, so the best way that I just found to get this piece of plastic off here is to push in with my finger on this piece, which is kind of like the top piece of plastic trim. Push in here to kind of get myself a gap, and then I wedge the tool kind of around this way, and I start twisting this trim tool to pry the plastic away. And this whole plastic piece comes straight down. It sounds a little rough, kind of harsh, like you might be breaking some pieces of plastic, but it's actually pretty tough, and I got it off not super smooth the first time around, but I'll try to film it as I take it off again. So I'm pushing in that piece and get my tool in, kind of start wedging, maybe. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna get the other side going. Same deal. Again, sounds rough, sounds harsh, but it's really just these tabs. Let's see. This tab and this tab, they kind of have like hooks. And up here in the mirror, you can see what the hooks are hanging on to. They're hanging on to this and this on both sides. And I mean, it's just like a sharp corner there. So it sounds rough when you're prying them off. I just did it twice and didn't break any plastic, and wasn't very smooth with it, as you can see. All right, so before the mirror will actually come off, these instructions are saying to remove this cover, and it's actually coming off surprisingly easy. I went up here with the headliner, gave it a little twist, and both sides kind of came loose. So I'll try to record that here also. There we go. All right, so I found it pretty easy to pry up here in the corner up against the headliner. And this one, same thing, same kind of tabs, kind of just come straight down. And then maybe we'll be able to wiggle it out of here. There we go. All right, so there it is, same sort of deal. Pried it straight down, just had to find a good place to pry. Plastic pieces are removed. Next thing is just getting this connector undone. So it kind of looks like just pushing the tab in. Oh, look at that, doesn't even need two hands. Instructions say to disconnect the battery. I did not, so we'll see if anything explodes upon reconnection. As far as the connector goes, this one stays in place, comes from inside the headliner. This piece looks like it slides up towards the headliner, and then it's hooked in here, so I'm going to pull that down out of there, and that is connected to the existing auto dimming mirror. Instructions say this thing just turns counterclockwise to come off. I have not tried yet, so we'll see what happens when I give it a twist. There we go. Oh, all right. On there pretty solid. Took a little bit of effort, but there you can see whatever kind of mechanism is holding that in place as you twist. Don't think I broke anything, but we'll find out later probably. If you're looking at the wire and trying to install it, you're not doing it right. So I kind of grab it this way. You give it like a, you know, golf club grip here, so that the buttons are kind of towards me a little bit, and there's this big chunk sticking out here. You can kind of see that with like a little notch on the mount for the mirror. So if we line that up at about 10 o'clock from the cutout in the mount that's on the windshield, put that at about 10 o'clock, you can feel it kind of start to seat, and then give it a twist and miss. I'm gonna need two hands probably. So I'm gonna try again with two hands. I feel it seat, then twist, then boom, we're in business. So that's kind of tedious, kind of annoying, but we are locked in place, and I can see that because that notch kind of falls into the groove that's cut out on the piece up there. So we're about to be in business. I am going to get the wiring hooked back up. So this piece pushes into that little clip, as you can't see there. Yeah, wire gets hooked there, and then the connector from the mirror gets hooked on to that piece. So we'll go up and slide it on here, this time away from, maybe, yeah, gotta twist it. As you can see, I did bloody one of my knuckles on here somewhere. Some nice sharp pieces of plastic and metal floating around behind the covers. All right, so connector. Back in. I am going to reinstall the plastic covers and program this thing. Tilt the mirror down a little bit, wiggle this thing around. Kind of got to flex it a tiny bit. It's nice though, just push it straight up. Snaps in place. I'm just making sure my wire's not going to block anything. No rattles. I don't like rattles. All right, next piece. They are pretty easy to line up. Kind of see the seams. There we go, a couple solid clicks. Feels good. Again, no rattles. And just a bunch of dust and fingerprints now. But there it is, installed, looking pretty normal. I'm gonna back out and try to get this thing to work in my garage. Programming is pretty easy. Press and hold 1 and 3 until I don't know, the color changes or whatever. Then you press the one you want to program, hold that garage door button down until it flashes green, press it again, and you're set. Let's give it a shot. there we go.